Hello and welcome to Aurora Nights, an indie game developed by Vladimir Maslov, which is about discovering and memorizing all the constellations in the night sky. Let's see how this game works out, and let's go right into the introduction. So this tutorial will help you to get started with the game. It consists of 36 constellations, which are initially marked by their regions, and we need to discover all of them. And there is also sort of encyclopedia, apparently. To get 3 stars rating on a constellation, you will need to revisit it 2 more times, without getting into the trap of clicking excess stars. Alright? If you're serious about learning to identify constellations, you have to put more efforts into your training. This game will help you to remember constellations and their placement. For that, you just have to regularly repeat your walkthrough. For learning about constellation placement on the real sky in your area and in the concrete time of the year, you should use star atlases. One of them is available for free. Alright, we'll check that out later. It looks interesting. Alright, so I guess we get started by clicking Starfield. Ooh. So there are apparently 35 levels, and in these separate star fields we need to discover the star system, I would say. So let's start with the one on the edge. Serpens, the serpent. Well, I guess it would be this. The line also apparently indicates where we need to go already. I guess the difficulty here isn't too high yet. You don't need to click them in order, so that's one thing to keep in mind. We got a Steam achievement called Discoverer. Discovered our first constellation. So we discovered Serpens right now. Let's see what's located next to Serpens. Corona Borealis. Well, so far it is really easy because the star systems that we need to discover are the larger stars. So I guess that will be the same for all the other ones, but I wonder if we revisit this. Yeah, if we revisit this, the stars will be just... oh, hold on. Now there's an excess star. So let's see. So if you revisit it, more excess stars will show up. And those can lure you into a trap if you're not observant enough. Let's check another. Hercules. This one is composed by quite a large number of stars, I would say. I'm sure there are even harder ones, but I've never seen this one before actually, so looks a bit like a jumble to me. There we are. I would like to see the end result in this screen actually. It's a bit awkward that this band shows up across the constellation that you've discovered, so this message could just as well be down here instead of all the trees. I think that would be quite an improvement. What's this wheel? Oh, that's the main menu. Alright. Ursa Minor is one that's usually located next to one of these. I think it should be this one. No. Here we have Canes venatici. Hunting dogs. It's apparently just 2 stars. It's probably the easiest one to remember. What? It's 3 stars? Oh, fair enough. So in the main menu, the excess stars are shown as well, I think, or what? No, because it's just... Well, this is weird. The constellation is only 2 stars, but they show 3 stars here. It's a bit random. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. I can sort of see a dragon in this. It's not really a dragon in the Skyrim sense, but it's some kind of Dragonair, if you know the Pokemon. This sector is somewhat located off the screen. Can we move with the arrow keys or something? No, we can't. Coma Berenices. Berenice is here. I wonder who Berenice is. Would be interesting to learn. Maybe that's situated in the encyclopedia. I'll take a look in a second. Ursa Minor should be here somewhere. Let's see. There we go. That's Ursa Minor. So this is usually called the frying pan or something. There we go. Two bears high-fiving and the true north. Both Steam achievements at once. Alright, so let's take a look at the encyclopedia. So for all the constellations that we've discovered and also repeated, since there are 2 stars here, we have an encyclopedia entry. So according to the Greek mythology, serpent is seen as a giant snake, held by a hero named Asclepius. The serpent appears to be cut in 2 by Ophiuchus, with the head to the west and the tail to the east. That's one way to remember it, I would say. Let's see what the... Alright, so you don't get more of the encyclopedia entry if you repeat it more often. So, Ursa Minor was known since Babylonian times. The Greeks related Ursa Minor and Ursa Major to the myth of the beautiful nymph Callisto and her son Arcas. Both placed in the sky by Zeus as bears after Artemis. The moon goddess became furious with Callisto for breaking her vow. You can always look into the story if you're interested on Wikipedia, of course. There's a ton of mythology to be found there. Or in mythology books, of course. So there we go, that's Aurora Nights. I'm not going to do all the constellations. There still has to be something that you can explore for yourself. If you want to learn the shapes of the constellations, this is the game for you. You don't learn the position of the constellations, which is a slight letdown. But you can use a star atlas, which the game links to. Overall, I quite like the game as a mnemonic tool, so to remember all the constellations itself. It's not really a game as in gameplay elements itself, but for 99 cents you can't go wrong. This was the first impression of Aurora Nights. See you next time.